So I'm sitting here with my giant pile of stuff that I'm trying to get ready to get packed to take to Scotland. So basically, we're going to go to Scotland for 2.5 months, and our goal is to not rent a car. I mean, we will probably take some public transport at some point, but primarily to just be on foot the entire time to see the country on foot. And there's a ton of trails and things over there. Obviously, there's the really well known stuff like the West Highland Way, which is where we'll start, but there's all kinds of just trails everywhere, and we're focusing mainly on the Highlands. So it's a little challenging because Scotland does not get that warm. It is a very damp climate and not super warm. So I struggle with the cold. I think anybody who's followed me for a while knows that. I get hypothermic at the drop of a hat. So I'm a little concerned that I might not be warm enough there, but I'm trying to mitigate that and still go as lightweight as possible. There are also kind of some considerations with uh, acquiring objects there. Like I know when I went to New Zealand, things like new shoes were extraordinarily expensive there. So I'm going to be taking an extra pair of shoes, which is like going to be a pound and a half on my back until the pair I start out in wears out and then I switch to a new one. I mean, we're anticipating hiking about 1,000 miles, give or take. It really depends on how many Munros we climb. So Munros are the highest mountains in Scotland. Ben Nevis is the highest in the entire UK, and I think the cutoff is basically like 3,000 feet. So these are all the mountains above 3,000 feet, and there's 282 of them, I believe. And obviously, if I had my way, that's what I would do, is just climb all 282. But Adam is like more interested in doing some other things too. So we will be doing some hiking and climbing as many Munros as we can possibly fit in. So definitely like this is peak bagging. It's kind of like a through hike since we're going to be on foot for 2.5 months, but we don't necessarily anticipate covering mileage like that far. So I will obviously be posting updates on Instagram underscore words from the wild underscore and on Facebook words from the wild. And I'll do write ups, I'm sure, when I return. But anyway, back to what I was going to talk about today, which is my clothing. Since I have it all kind of sitting here in a pile, I figured I would just make a really quick video and talk a little bit about what I'm taking. And this has gone through multiple revisions over the last couple of weeks. I've been kind of agonizing. I have a spreadsheet. Everything's been weighed and entered in the spreadsheet, and I've taken things out and added things in. One of the shirts that I really thought I would be able to take with me didn't arrive. It's like a new product from Appalachian Gear Company. I'm really excited about it. I'm really bummed that it's not ready in time. But when they launch that, I will definitely be posting about it once I finally get my hands on one, because I'm sure it's going to be awesome. So let's just start here. So the main thing that everybody probably wants to know about is the rain jacket. I did get a new rain jacket for this. Haven't even tried it out yet, but it's been highly recommended to me by several other long distance hikers. It's the Torrent Flyer by Montbell, and it's supposed to be really waterproof. Obviously, it's a rain jacket, but it's pretty light. I want to say it's 7 ounces. I'm not sure. It's not super heavy. I think it's a little bit more waterproof than the Versalite, which is what I typically wear when I'm doing long distance hiking. Usually when I do a rainy, wet, like long distance hike, like the Tuscarora Trail or whatever, or spring hiking, when I did like the Benton Mackay, no, Bartram Trail, I took the Montbell Storm jacket, but that's more of like an actual like hard shell for mountaineering and for alpine, and I think it weighs like 12 ounces, and I just really didn't want to carry a 12-ounce rain jacket for 2.5 months because I can't imagine it's going to pour rain every single day, hopefully. So I got the Torrent Flyer, and I'm also going to take the poncho, which if you followed me for a while, you know I usually carry these little like super lightweight like ponchos, like the type you get when you go to like ball games or whatever. And they work really well, and as long as you're careful with them, you can reuse them multiple times. So I'm going to carry that too as like a backup to kind of just add additional waterproofness. And it's nicer to wear that too if it is actually warm out versus that. So in conjunction with that, the other jacket I have, if I can find it in my massive pile. So I'm going back and forth on this. This is the Tachyon jacket, and it has a hood. This is also by Montbell. It's a wind shirt. And so it only weighs like, I think 1 or 2 ounces. It's super light. So to me, it's like this will be good if it is light rain or if it's just windy and cold, but not actively raining. It'll be a really good way to just add some extra warmth because I am a little worried about being cold. So I focused mainly on doing lots of light layers for this, just because of that reason of, like I said, just one heavy thing, just having lots of light layers so that I can adjust them to really dial things in so that I can avoid getting super sweaty and super cold. So I also have this new product from Montbell. I'm really excited to give it a try. It's a hoodie. It's a merino wool hoodie. I am really thrilled about this. So I'll keep you posted on how well that performs. So this is kind of my hiking mid layer. And then I also have my insulating layer here, my Thermowrap jacket. This is the version without the hood. This Montbell jacket has been with me on like basically everything I do. It's very light. It's a synthetic insulation. A piece of advice that I got from Swami, the Hiking Life, was just to not take down, which makes a lot of sense because if it's wet all the time, like, I don't know, hiking is something that's down and it's raining, it's going to get wet and not be very useful. I have my everyday hiking gloves. I use these like sun gloves. I like to just have something on my hands when I'm hiking, for sun protection, obviously, but also just for that little extra warmth. And let's see, I have my hiking skirt. It's the Wick Run skirt from Montbell. Pretty light. It's a synthetic quick dry skirt. I've worn it a ton. I have a pair of their light tights. These are really on their last legs, so I'm sure these are going to get shredded, but that's fine. I wore these. I've been wearing these for years. So I'll have that for layering underneath on cold days. And then I have a dress, synthetic dress. I wore this on the Bent Mackay. I was just going to take this as a travel dress and then just like get rid of it because it's pretty worn out. But I also was like, well, if I have it with me, I can use it as a town dress. And then also it's a backup hiking outfit or, something to wear when I'm doing laundry other than rain gear. Although it's Scotland, maybe I'll just want to be wearing my rain gear when I'm doing laundry. And let's see, we have, this is my long sleeve. It's 100% wool, Montbell Super Merino shirt. And so I have this as kind of my everyday hiking shirt if it's cold. So this will go with the skirt. I can also layer it over the dress if I need to. And then I have a tank top here somewhere in the pile. Anyway, so the shirt I wanted to get from Appalachian Gear Co. didn't come in, so I ended up just packing one of my, I think it's an Ibex wool tank top that I have, and that'll be if it's warm enough to want actual short sleeves while hiking. I can wear that. And then I have a pair of wool tights, also from Montbell, to sleep in. And then I'm packing my Appalachian Gear Company hoodie, the alpaca hoodie. If you don't have one of these yet, you really should get one. They're amazing. They're cozy. They don't retain a lot of water when they get wet. This will be my sleep shirt, but obviously I can also wear it during the day if I need to. I'll drop a link down below if you wanted to pick one of these up. Again, I love it. I recommend it. I've been using it for a long time and I love it so much. It's such a great layer. Here's the tank top. Just a basic, I think it's 100% wool. Yeah, it's really worn out because I've had this for years. You can barely read the tag anymore. So that's basically my main clothing. And then, these are the other ones. I got the Expedition Weight Montbell wool tights. These are basically going to be my really warm tights for hiking, and I might also use them for sleeping. We'll see how the overnight temperatures are versus the hiking temperatures. I don't know what's going to be colder. Obviously nighttime's going to be colder, but I may be plenty warm enough in those other tights to sleep in, and actually need warmer tights for hiking, or vice versa. I'm not sure yet, but I took these because I know that like the average high on Ben Nevis, the high point, is like 55, and so it's often going to be probably a lot colder than that up there, especially if it's rainy and nasty. It'll be nice to have a pretty thick pair of pants basically to hike in. and they're lighter than carrying actual like hiking pants, and they're more versatile because I can layer them underneath the dress or the skirt. And then I also have this 0.6 wool buff, a longer, I guess buff is like a brand name, so neck gaiter. It's a little bit on the longer side, so that'll keep me pretty warm to avoid losing heat through your throat. I have rain pants. These are the Montbell Versalite pants. I did end up taking these. These should be really good to layer over top of any of the tights or just with the skirt if I don't have the tights on underneath for really rainy days. I have the Appalachian Gear Company, the alpaca beanie. Super cozy and warm, and I love it. I am taking a synthetic buff too. I got this, I think, from Explorer Chick, of all places. Check them out. Actually, they're pretty cool. They do women's adventures all over the world. But I got this from one of their retreats, and it's actually really like cool. Like it goes with everything, and it's really light. It's under an ounce. And then I have socks, 0.6 wool again. There's a link, I think, for a discount down below if you want to try some of their wool socks. I'm not sure. I think I'm taking three or four pairs. I don't know. They last a long time, so I'm not that worried. I'm sure I can find socks over there if something happens to those. And wool hiking bra. I got that also from Montbell. And then I also have another one from Ibex because the Montbell one is really worn out and I'm pretty sure it's going to die. Crucial piece of gear, the head net. If you do any sort of research on hiking in Scotland, you will hear about midges. I am hoping this is midge proof. The mesh looks pretty small, but we will find out because apparently they can get through regular mosquito netting. So this is a Montbell head net, but it just fits over any hat. And I'm going to take that and probably live in it because I hate bugs. Speaking of hats, other hats, I have this also from Montbell, this little bucket hat, and I chose to go with this instead of my normal ball cap because number one, this is water repellent. This is their OD, I think it's just called the OD sun hat. I don't know, they have weird namings, but OD stands for out dry. So it's got a water repellent finish on it, so I thought that would be useful. It's also going to be a little bit warmer, and it has the little strap, so it's not going to blow off my head, which I've lost many, many hats over the years to the wind, and ball caps seem to like not stay on my head. I think my head's really tiny, so even with my ponytail through them, they blow away. So I'm hoping that one will stay on my head a little better. And these are a pair of wool gloves from Montbell. These ones, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they have the little like touch thing in the finger, so you can actually use the screen on your phone, even when you're wearing the gloves, which I really like because if I have gloves on, I do not want to take them off, so you don't get any pictures or videos when it's cold and I'm wearing gloves unless I'm using these. So sun gloves for when it's dry and warm, these for when it's a little bit colder or wet. I have rainouts, so usually I have at least 2 pairs of gloves with me at all times, sometimes 3. This is one of those occasions where I'm going to have 3. So I have the sun gloves, which are my day-to-day. I have the wool gloves for when it's actually cold and wet, or when the other ones get wet, I can swap them out. And then I'm bringing the heavy-duty over mitts. These are also a Montbell, and I actually went and seam sealed them because they were waterproof mitts, but they weren't seam sealed or seam taped, which I always think is weird when companies sell you something waterproof and they don't seam seal it. Like, I got a tent recently and it wasn't seam sealed, and I was like, why? I don't really want to do this myself. So anyway, I seam sealed these very messily, but they should not leak now, and they are a little on the heavy side, but I've worn these mountaineering, and they are like going to keep my hands really warm and dry. So I have these to help forestay getting rainouts while I'm out there. And that is the clothing, aside from, I guess we'll talk about these, because I do wear them. They're a sleep system, but I wear them. This is kind of one of my like indulgences. I love my down booties. These are like the Montbell down booties. They're wonderful. I love them. I carry them all the time. Hiking, through hiking, car camping. I wear them around the house in the winter. They're fabulous. I love them so much. I love having warm feet. So that basically covers all of the clothing that I'm planning to take to Scotland, and fingers crossed it's the right combination. Have a good one.